the money here is for the dead bodies and for their funeral. So this money is for save dead bodies and their family members. Yeah, they use some part of the money to bury their dead bodies, and they use some to compensate their families. And they ask about me personally and say, no, I am not included, but they will think about what they can do for me. That's what the minister said.
You are not included in the $500,000 compensation?
Yeah, he said I'm not included, but they will think about what they can do for me.
So what's the stance now? You don't know how much you're getting out of the compensation?
No, actually, I don't know.
Okay, so what would be your advice to Ghanaians seeking to go to Europe and other overseas places through the means you adopted? What would be your advice to them?
Yeah, you see, now we have started campaigning against this legal migration and all those things. But what I will tell them is that nobody is campaigning against traveling. But traveling from Ghana, pass through Techiman and Tampo to the desert is not easy task. So my friend, if you have money, now me myself have started doing something. Because the time I was in secondary school, I'm present that I will finish school and travel to Europe by land. But now I see that I must get time patiently and work here. Because now I see that though I'm hustling construction, that is far better than if you just go border. Nobody respects you again. Nobody. If your child can even kill you, do anything to you, nobody cares. Just like that. So if you are in heaven, it's like you are in heaven.
Okay. Let me go through some paragraph here in your statement, and then according to this, the Vice President of the country has shown goodwill for those of our country's citizens who, in our quest to see greener pastures, find ourselves going through all manner of troubles in other countries. Can I say that you're praising the government for their commitment?
Yeah, but the government have done well because he have invited the family members, he have talked to them, and me personally, he have invited me, talked to me, and he make I should have patience. They are still on it. They will not concentrate on only 6. After 6, they will just do some further investigation concerning the John-Alan-Kyeremanteng and Kwabena and the rest. They will get to the bottom of this matter.
Okay. Now, according to...
If they will just go and press on, but I hope they will do. So what the families are saying is now, they just, thank the government for, they have done something. Not only you alone, but all of those who are involved in the investigation, CID and everybody, for their efforts. But they want the government to push them further to find the rest of the guys.
Okay, you want government to push further to find the rest of the guys. Okay, thank you very much, Martin-Kyere, for your time with us. We'll call you on you again some other time.
Thank you.
Okay, Martin-Kyere survived after reports of some 44 Ghanaians were killed in Gambia some 5 years ago. It's 15 minutes to 8. You're still on your community watch on Focus 94.3. Today is the 2nd of August 2010.
Serious Radio. The 24-hour mixtape.
Focus 94.3 FM.
Refraining from personal biases or prejudice, but believing in responsible, accountable, balanced and objective analysis. Community Watch on Focus FM.
This is still 15 minutes to 8. You're still on Community Watch on Focus 943. My name is Atakusi. More of these will be available for playback and or download. Just visit the webcast at atakusiadusai.wordpress.com. Let me turn over quickly to Douglas Opoku as he takes us through taxation as we enter the lecture theatre. We'll quickly wrap up on taxation that we started last week. Before David comes in with the full detail of the press statement as released by Martin-Kyere. You heard him speak. You heard me speak with him in a short or a while ago, and then we'll go through the statement by the CPP in respect of the possible sale of the stake of Cosmos Energy in Ghana's Jubilee field. Should it go to a foreign company or should it go to GMP? So we'll give you details of that here on your community watch on Focus 943. Douglas, good evening.
Good evening, Atta.
How are you doing, Douglas?
Oh, I'm doing very, very fine.
Okay, you should conclude with us your series on taxation.
Taxation.
Yeah.
Okay, good evening once again to our cherished listeners and our students. You are welcome again to the lecture theatre, and we are still on our topic taxation, which, as Atta said, we will be concluding today. So before we start today's, we have to go through a brief revision of what we've studied so far. I know if you've been following our lecture theatre, then by now you should know what a tax is. if you are to define it simply, a tax is a levy charged by the government, which the government collects from the general public, and it's a major source of revenue for the government. But we're able to educate ourselves that taxes are not the only means or the only source of revenue for the government. The government also has got another way, other sources of media for collecting their revenues, or for other sources of revenue. That's how I should put it. We've also gone through some of the qualities of a good tax. By now you should know that if you say this tax is good, then one, you should have the ability to pay. Like all the citizens or the people whom the tax have been levied against them should have the ability to pay. That's one of the qualities of a good tax. And also there should be equity. It should be equitable. Said that the rich won't be paying more than the poor, rather shouldn't be paying more than the rich. That's what we say is equitable. That's one of the quality of a good tax. Also, evasion should be difficult. Evasion, you know, a whole lot of people in the informal sector, when you go to KJTR, Central Market, and a whole lot of places, they will be running when they see all these tax collectors coming. This means that tax itself that they are collecting is not that a good tax. It can be classified as a good tax, because evasion, if evasion for a tax is very easy, then it means it's not a good tax. Evading a tax should be very difficult. Also, we went through some of the principles of taxation. There is efficiency, also economical. Economical instead that the amount spent in collecting shouldn't be more than the revenue that is gained from it. If you quite remember, we talked about the cost benefit analysis here, that the cost that we incur in collecting the taxes shouldn't be more, rather the marginal revenue or the marginal benefit should be higher than the cost. Also, we talked about one of the principles of taxation, which is equity, which is even one of the quality of a good tax. Also, we came to aims of taxation. And we all know, like everybody will say, the government uses taxation as its major source of revenue. So one of the main aim of taxation is to raise revenue. But we also educated ourselves that it's not only to raise revenue that the government imposes tax. It can also use it to control importations. You know, there are some indigenous companies that might wind up, or there are some indigenous companies. Example, we talked about the textile companies. At times, the government can levy taxes on foreign goods, so that when you're importing them, it will be very higher, so that in the long run, the cost, that means the market price of those foreign goods, will be higher, making the local ones cheaper, so that people will patronize the local ones rather than the foreign ones. That's one of the aim of taxation, to control our importations and also to protect our indigenous or our local companies. There is also to correct market failures. Market failures, if you quite remember, we talked about some of the market failures as externalities. Example, looking at all these sachet waters that they've produced, that they are producing, as well as plastic bags. People have been, the means of disposing them is very, very bad. You will see plastic bags everywhere, sachet water, there's sacks everywhere. So the government can impose taxes on all this sachet water, which, if you quite remember, it came into the system, but I think it didn't hold. It can impose taxes on sachet water, so that it will use some of this tax or the revenue that will accrue from it to help people like Zoom Lion, so they will be able to clean the communities and the rest. That's one way of also using taxation. And also, we came to incidence of taxation, which was the last thing we talked about, incidence of taxation. And we told that when we say incidence of taxation, that means the bearers of tax. If you impose tax, who are the people who are going to bear it? Though it's the general population who are going to pay, all the people that you impose on them. But usually, you know, if you don't buy, you are not going to be charged with the tax. So the main incidents of taxation are the sellers or producers of goods, as well as the buyers, you and I, the people who buy and sell. And we came to the conclusion the last time that it is through this incidence of taxation that helps us to differentiate between the two general types of tax, which is the direct and indirect tax. We came to the realization that direct taxes are those type of taxes that the incident of taxation is on the person, like directly on the